democracy, which we see that the West or the imperialists are struggling to impose in Africa, is not the same thing that actually works for them over there? And how can Africans come to understand this and come together to build an Africa that is best for all Africans?
You see, it is simple. Every hardware is managed by a software. When you create a structure, you need to be able to bring in a system that is able to sustain that structure. And that is where democracy finds its place in Africa, because they were able to structure Africa in their own likeness. And then they brought in democracy, knowing that it is only through this system that structure can be sustainable. And that is why you realize that democracy has not been in the advantage of the African people, and that's why you realize that we have never been able to get in the leaders that meet the demands of their own people. That's a system, and the system is not a system that came from the African people. And that is why I said that when something is generic, we can all agree that something is good in it. China does not use democracy. United Kingdom does not use democracy. Russia does not use democracy. America does not use democracy. So why are they forcing the democracy to Africa? That is what I really want to know. This is just to tell you that democracy comes to portray the different diversities of the African people as a cause of division and not a cause of unity. It simply means that our diversities were supposed to be the beauty and the reason why we should live together. But democracy comes to rather shows how divided we are. And that's why you realize that in every democratic election, people always come out from different minority groups. As a matter of fact, we have always selected the majority from minority groups. That simply means that when you saw today in Mali how the masses went out and stood behind Assimi Goïta, they said, no, that's not democracy. You people must go back to an election. Assimi Goïta must come from a minority group. That's what they were telling us. So majority is trying to get one man to be their leader. Democracy says no. You must go back through a ballot box. So there must be something in that ballot box that the Americans still need to tell us, because I want to believe that that is where the occult technology of manufacturing leaders that are against their own people can only come from the ballot box. Now the Malians have bypassed the ballot box and said, okay, since you people are seeking for majority, here we are. They say, no, go back to the ballot box. So that simply means that they are not interested for what we call transparency. They are just here to get the rule of the minority over the majority.